In the mid-20th century, the field of literary criticism saw a shift towards interpretive methods that continued to dominate university-level literature classes. This movement, which is called the New Criticism, advocated close reading of language and elements such as form, devices, and technique as the primary means of understanding literary texts. Before I describe my archive network of key essays from this literary critical movement, I want to talk about how I became interested in exploring this movement as a digital humanities project. In my first introductory class on digital humanities theories and methods, I read Dan Cohen's Searching for the Victorians, a keynote address that urges literary scholars to leverage digital tools and unprecedented access to large amounts of textual data. I was struck by Cohen's description of the mathematician Augustus de Morgan's skepticism towards conclusions based on limited experiences. De Morgan believed that humans are too inclined to make mountains out of molehills, drawing conclusions from scant or no evidence. The questions that Cohen raised next would irrevocably shift my thinking. Shouldn't we ask, like the Victorians, what can we do to be most certain about a theory or interpretation? If we use intuition based on close reading, for instance, is that enough? Is close reading enough? I began to ask myself anew. As an English major who had received extensive training in close reading techniques, this question rekindled an interest in the theoretical grounds of interpretation, especially within the digital humanities. I already had a basic grasp of how to shift between close reading and critical paradigms such as psychoanalysis and Marxism, but Cohen opened the door to a new question. In what ways could I reconcile close reading with the so-called distant reading methods? This lingering question inspired me to take up a network analysis of key essays from the New Criticism. My network illustrates critic to critic, critic to poet, and critic to key term citations in 7 seminal essays. It is an exploratory network that gives scholars and general readers a bird's-eye view of the critical and conceptual traffic between the new critics. By visualizing these citations, the network facilitates special attention to relationships and voices that may go unnoticed beneath the shadows of T.S. Eliot, John Crowe Ransom, Robert Penn Warren, Alan Tate, Clent Brooks, W.K. Wimsatt, and M.C. Beardsley, the famous Anglo-American figures of New Criticism. This broad survey of a literary critical discourse supplements close readings of the articles with a means of distantly assessing their constitutive intellectual and aesthetic hierarchies. My project thus provides a means of re-examining the development and legacy of New Criticism, bringing relationships and hierarchies to the fore, and raising questions that would not be asked in straightforward readings of my curated texts.